So I wanted to do a summery look for you. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I have a couple of products out here that I know I want to use. So, and I want to show you guys some new stuff that I got. So I know it's going to have some kind of SPF in it because I'm going to go to barbecue later, and I want it to be, you know, healthy for going outside and wearable for being outside. So I'm going to do something quite summery. So that's what's going to be, something simple and summery and easy to wear. So I'm going to start off with a clean base. I don't have anything on right now, and I'm just going to go straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to put on is an SPF with a moisturizer. So this is a Clean and Clear Finishes Mattifying Moisturizer. This is has an SPF 15, and it's oil controlling moisturizer. I'm going to take a small amount, and I'm just going to put that on the areas where I would normally need it. Alright, so now that that's on, I'm going to put on my foundation. Now, I'm going to use a Lancome one today just because it has an SPF in it as well. I want a lot of protection on my skin because I am going to be outside, so I'm just going to shake it up a bit. It's always good to have SPF on your skin, especially with the harmful UVA and UVB rays that are coming out a lot now. So those levels have gotten really high, so it's really important if you're going to be outside for a long period of time to put some kind of SPF on. So that's why I'm taking a lot of precautions, because we are going to be outside. So I'm just going to pop this onto my skin, and I'm just going to take some onto my fingers and just do a nice sheer coverage, because I don't want a lot on since I am going to be outside for a while. I don't want to have a lot on my skin. I don't want to have to worry about checking my makeup. So I'm just going to roughly just put this on. Alright, so now that I popped that onto my skin, I'm going to go on to concealer. So I'm not too worried about concealing every single blemish on my skin. So I'm just going to take a lighter concealer. This is the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage in C3, an SC3. So I'm going to take the warmer shade right here onto a concealer brush. And this one is like a bamboo concealer brush, which I think is fantastic. I love this concealer brush. So I'm just going to take some product and just conceal a couple of scars that are present. Lightly conceal and just blend out those edges of that concealer. Alright, so now on to under eye concealing. I'm going to apply the Garnier eye treatment. It's also a light concealer, so this isn't going to give me a full amount of coverage, but it is going to help treat my darkness and give me a tiny amount of color. So now that that's on, as you can tell, I just lightened it up a bit. I'm going to pop on some of that concealer. And this is a Studio Finish by MAC, and I'm in the shade NW25. I'm taking the same concealer brush just because I like this one so much. I'm going to place this right here along that area. And that's just going to help conceal the darkness right there. And I'm also going to just put the rest of it along this area where I tend to get burned. And then I'm going to take my finger and just lightly pat that in right there. So next I'm going to do my eyes. Now when it comes to my eyes, especially going out and going to be in the sun, you don't want too much going on because the sunlight does tend to make the makeup look less natural. So I'm going to go for something really, really light, and I'm going to just to help set it and let it stay long, because I'm going to be outside and I do have quite oily lids. I'm putting on some Urban Decay Primer Potion to my lids just because they get oily and the makeup will come off. So I need to have some kind of barrier between the eyeshadow and my oily skin so that it'll stay. Okay, and so the eyeshadow palette I'm going to use is by Clinique. So it's kind of old. It is, it has 6 eyeshadows. Those are the shadows for you. And there's the packaging. It's a mirror so you can see my camera. But yeah, there is the colors for you. I think I'm just going to go for the lightest ones with this one, and probably maybe this one in the outer corners, maybe use one of these highlights. So I think I'm going to go for something really light. I don't want anything too dark on my lid. So I'm going to go for this color called Lucky Penny, which is this shade right here. And I'm just going to pop that on to my lid. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to take a 224 just to blend everything out. And I'm going to take a little bit of this color right here, which is Bronze satin. And I'm just going to quickly just use that into the crease. I took the smallest amount, so not a whole lot, just to liven up that crease and blend out that satiny color. I'm going to clean off my brush onto a towel just to get all that brown off, and then take some of this highlight shade right here, which is just a skin tone color, and then I'm just going to pop that right onto my brow. So like I said, this is 3 shades that just look really natural and nothing too intense. There you go, there are your eyeshadows. Once again, I just used Lucky Penny, and then I used Bronze Satin, and then Buttermilk on my lids. Alright, so next I'm going to line my lids. I'm not going to do something too crazy with them just because I want them to keep them really natural. I'm going to just quickly take a little bit of this liquid liner. This is the Eye Booster by Physicians Formula. It's one of my favorite eyeliners at the moment right now. I've been using it for like 4 months. It really has done what it claims to do, which is make your eyelashes grow longer, which I have seen a large growth in my lashes. So I'm just going to do a really tiny line just so I can have that treatment, and also it gives my lashes a little bit of depth to them. Alright, so since I haven't powdered my skin yet, I've done my eyeshadow, I've done my foundation, my concealer, and my eyeliner, but I don't want to powder it just yet because I am going to apply my bronzer. Since I'm going to be outside, I like to be a little bit darker than I normally am because my foundation is a little bit light. So I'm going to use a Chanel Soleil Tan, which is the Bronze Universal. It's basically the same thing. It's a bronzing base. It's a cream bronzer basically. That's an easy way to put it. So it's just a cream bronzer. I'm going to take an angled brush, something soft. So I'm taking an angled soft goat hair brush just to really get it onto my brush, and I'm going to take some onto my skin a little bit, and I'm just going to quickly bronze my skin with this. Make sure that when you're using this you have a liquid foundation or a cream foundation on, because if you use this over powder it will kind of flake a bit. So I'm just going to do this in a 3 on my forehead, on the side of my face, and down my cheekbone. Alright, so that's that. That's the Chanel Bronze Universal, and it just gives your skin a little bit of a tan without looking you know, too cakey, and it looks really natural on the skin. So that's one of my favorite bronzers, and I like it because it's cream and not powdery, because powder bronzes can tend to get a little bit orangey. Alright, so if you feel as though you lost a little bit of your concealer, which I did over here in this area, I'm going to just rub whatever I have of the bronzer onto the back of my hand, because I had to put some there, and just go over my concealing with my concealer brush. Alright, so now on to blush. Since I did use a cream bronzer, I'm going to use a cream blush. Now for that, I'm probably just going to take the same brush, which is the one I used for the bronzing, sorry, and I'm just tapping on the back of my hand. This is a cream blush by MAC. It's called Lady Blush, so I'm just taking that on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to quickly just kind of stipple it on to the skin. So the reason why I use the same brush that I used to bronze my skin with is because it's going to make it look really natural, and it's going to mix the bronzer and blush together so it kind of looks seamless. So I'm just taking that blush. I'm going to try to, the way I'm placing this is just along this area here, because that's the most natural area to place your blush, because when you get red and you blush, sometimes most faces, they blush around this area, so that's why I'm placing it all along this area, just so that it looks more natural. And now I'm going to go on to highlighter. I'm going to use a cream highlighter just because I used all the cream products on my face, and I might as well do the whole thing. I'm going to use this by e.l.f. It's a highlighter. I'm not sure if they make this anymore, but it's just a shimmering facial whip. So it's in the color Golden Petal, or golden peach, and I'm going to take that onto my back of my hand. It's just a cream highlighter or liquid highlighter, however have you. You can find something similar at Sephora. I'm just taking that onto my finger. It's a nice goldy color and it kind of matches the blush, so that's what I like about it. I'm going to apply this right here on my cheekbone. I'm going to apply it to my cheekbone right here, just so that when I move my face you see that nice luminous look to it. So it probably looks more visible here because the light's shimmering on this side. So now that I have my bronzer, my blush, and my highlighter on, I'm going to just powder my skin. And I'm going to try just to powder in my T-zone area, just so I leave everything else really creamy. I'm going to take this powder by Make It Forever. This is the HD setting powder, high definition powder. I love this stuff. It's very finely milled. I actually like it a lot better than my Elf powder, which is supposedly claims to be the same thing, but I've actually liked this one a lot better. So I'm taking that onto my big 150 powder brush, and I'm just going to powder my skin. The areas of my T-zone, just a little bit onto the cheeks, mainly on the forehead and nose area, and I'm just going to pat it on there, like so. But that's that. Alright, so I'm going to do my eyebrows. I really do like the Brooke Shields really big full brow, so I'm going to use the Define a Brow by Maybelline. It comes with this really cute comb and it's very thin, so it's great for mimicking hair strokes. So I'm going to comb my brows down, and then I'm going to just do my arch, because it's not as thick as I would like it to be. So I'm going to just do little hairs, small strokes, to really make my brow thicker. So that's a really high arch, which is what I like. Now I'm going to go beneath it just to fill in a few sparse hairs. And that's that. It's that simple. I just do that. Just to make my arch a little bit higher and make them thicker. So you can see the arch just looks so much better. Now on to mascara. I'm just going to curl my lashes. So I'm just going to apply my mascara and I'll be right back. So I've finished applying my mascara, and I forgot to mention that this is a waterproof mascara, so if you are going to be outside, you want something that's smudge proof and it's going to last all day long. Just to give my eyes a little bit of highlight in the center, I'm going to use this little white eyeshadow. This is from Sephora. I got it in a little gift, but it's a perfect little highlight shade for the inner eye. And I'm just going to place that right in my inner corner of my eye. And that's it, the eyes are done. Alright, so for my lips, I'm going to put this Revlon color on. This is Pink in the Afternoon, which is a great everyday pink shade. And I'm just going to apply that right onto my lips. And just so it looks a little bit more natural, I'm going to just rub it in there. Alright, so it looks a little bit more natural now, and I do want a little bit of gloss, so I'm going to put this lip gloss on. This is by e.l.f. It's a nice peachy shimmering lip gloss. It kind of matches the lipstick. Now last but not least, you do want to set all of this. Now we did use a setting powder, this is a great one by Make It Forever, which is the one I used, but I do want to set this more than it already is, just because I did use cream-based products, and sometimes, you know, the lasting power on those is so long that it can also kind of, you know, move a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen by using this. This is by Urban Decay. It's the De-Slick Oil Control Setting Spray. It's a great product, so I'm just going to, you need to shake it up first, and I'm just going to spray it onto my skin. So I do about 4 or 5 sprays, one here, one here, one here, and one in the center. So that's it, and I let that dry a bit. And that's just going to ensure that my makeup stays on Alright, so that is it. My makeup is set and I feel really good about this foundation and this coverage. It's not a full coverage. You can still see a little bit of scars, but not as bad as, you know, without wearing anything. But I think that it's a great amount of coverage for being outside, and I know I'm confident in my makeup that it's going to last. I really do like the combination of using cream-based products, the Chanel bronzer and the MAC blush and the e.l.f. highlighter are probably one of my favorite products to use for summer right now because they're so easy to apply and they just blend so effortlessly. And you know, they look really natural on my skin tone, especially that blush just looks really natural, and that bronzer just works really, really great on your skin and on any skin type. So this is definitely a product recommendation because it's so easy to apply and it blends beautifully into your skin. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this kind of natural, everyday outdoors makeup. This is definitely something you would want to wear for being outside because it has a lot of SPF in it and it's going to protect your skin, but you're also going to look really glowy and beautiful at the same time. So I'm going to go off to my barbecue and have some really good grub. So hope you guys enjoyed that and had a great time watching and learned something. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.